So it's just after 2 in the morning. Um, I've got a long day ahead, and I'm behind on vlogging from where I want it to be at this point in the year. So figured I might as well get back at it today. Christmas trees behind me. Some will say that I did that too early, but I needed some holiday cheer. And I haven't decorated for Christmas in years. I'm actually excited about it. I'm in a weird place right now. It's a healthy place. It's good. I'm like, it's like happy climate, even though, I've just been hit by another grief bomb. My very treasured friend, Stacy, died. And her funeral is actually today. So, I don't know if it was the day I got the news or the day after, but I was just weirdly happy to be alive. Like, I don't know. It's like the grief is very real. It's, a week ago today, I was just sitting on my couch in the living room reading, and I started thinking about Stacy. And like when I got the news, I couldn't wrap my head around it. Like, she was one of those people who just had such a huge impact on my life that I couldn't quite wrap my brain around she's gone, as a concept. But I knew it was going to hit me out of nowhere. And it did last Saturday. And I don't know, it's like I just felt like she was sitting right across from me, and I just started talking to her. I just started remembering things like from when we were teenagers with crystal clarity. And like, I'm still flooded. Just all week I've been flooded with those crystal clear memories of my teen years and how very present Stacy was in my life in those years, and how very much she helped bring out all of my best qualities. Like, she was my age. She was maybe a year older than me, but she was a role model to me. And such a good friend. And I just, like, so I started talking to her and just telling her all this stuff, in more detail. I won't go into it now because I'll start crying, because that's what happened to me. On Saturday, I cried so much just talking to Stacy, and I laughed so much. And I mean, that's the conclusion of a great friendship, You think back and you laugh as much as you cry. Because when you're that close with someone for so many years, you've been through so much laughter and so many tears together that it all comes up, and it's just like a fully realized relationship between people. And I know that I'm not the only person who feels the way that I feel about Stacy. Like, she had a huge impact on everyone who knew her. So yeah, so I decided to decorate for Christmas early and found myself getting really excited about it. For the first time in forever, it's like, since I don't even know when, like well before Mom died, just caretaker years and all that, I feel like I've been fighting depression and like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know how I feel about it, but I guess I'm appreciative that, it's like reconnecting with all of those memories kind of reconnected me with my energy from that time, and kind of reminded me, like thinking about who Stacy was and how much she affected who I am, sort of reconnected me with my own purest self. And it hasn't ebbed at all. Over the past week, I've been really enthusiastic just about life in general, and there's no way that I'm gonna get through her funeral today without a lot of tears. But I think I can honestly say that I'm focusing on the gift of joy that she brought into my life. And the gift of those memories, and the gift of reconnecting with my core self by being forced to stop and re-immerse myself in those memories. So yeah, I didn't mean to cry right now, and I'm not apologizing for that. I'm just, it's going to be an interesting day. Like, I've got a lot going on other than just a funeral. I'm going to, let's see, just to catch you up, because I haven't been vlogging monthly like I intended to. So, we'll come back to the funeral. I will not film the funeral, but I'll check back in after the funeral. But, other things going on, like I just passed 100,000 words in the novel I'm working on, The Legends of Nod Book 6, not only the longest Legends of Nod book I've ever written, but it's also the longest novel I've ever written. Like, I think my previous longest book topped out at like 80,000 something words. You know, I don't like to write fluff. Like, I'm all about unity of effect. If I put it in the novel, there's a reason, there's a payoff. And if it's in a series, the payoff might be in a later book, but everything is intentionally there. There's never a point where I don't know where I'm going. Like, I'm a plotter. I plot my novels, and I still get surprises, but I had no idea this one was going to be this long, and every word is worth it, and I'm almost 2/3 of the way through the outline, like the plot bullet points. But it's been a great experience. And I can't wait to have it finished so people can read it. But let's see, I started reading Sword Art Online. I've never seen the anime, but my friend Matt says he's using me as a guinea pig because he watched the anime and now he's reading the books, and he wants to see what it's like for someone to read the books first, because he says that his feeling is that the anime adds so much to it and that it's better to read the books first. So we'll see. I'm enjoying it though. I really like the premise. I read the first story in the second book, which is a collection of like 4 short stories. And I finished the first book, obviously. So, I mean, that's pretty much all that's going on with me. Oh, and I'm going to go see Ghostbusters 3 tonight. Ghostbusters Afterlife. With some friends. So, that's a good thing, you know. Start the day with a funeral, end the day with friends and Ghostbusters. That's that's the way to do it. And you know, somewhere in between, I'm gonna get some more writing done on my massive manuscript. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And yeah, I'll check back in a little later. I'll probably check back in after the funeral, tell y'all how it went. I need to get some more lights for this tree because there are some gaps. I haven't put lights on a tree by myself ever, so yeah, I underestimated how many I would need by about 200 lights, I think. Anyway, I'll see y'all after the funeral. Okay, so I'm back from the funeral. It was a positive experience. That doesn't mean it wasn't heartbreaking saying goodbye to Stacy. God knows I have shed a lot of tears. I strangely didn't shed any tears at the funeral, but probably because I have already done so. And I tend to do that sort of thing more when I'm alone than when I'm around people. It's not a conscious thing, but it is a thing. It's just something I do. I don't tend to cry in public. But yeah, it was just great, like, kind of celebrating her life and what a wonderful person she was, and seeing old friends, and my old youth minister did the service, and it's been years since I've seen him. I actually inherited his job at one point I ran the youth program at the same church for 8 years. Later on. So, yeah, it was good seeing him. He gifted me some readers because he wanted me to put his phone number in my phone. And I'm like, I am this old now? I can't. So he handed me some readers and he was like, I'll gift those to you. Always carry 2. He has 2 pairs of readers on him at all times just in case. I'm like, I'm still learning from you, Walt. But so yeah, that part was good, and it was just like an affirmation of the impact that this person had on all of us. That's why I wanted to go. Today I had a ticket through a friend to go see Hamilton. I never watched it on Disney Plus because I was going to go see it live. And I had no second thoughts about giving that ticket away so that I could go to this funeral and be a part of that ritual saying goodbye. I feel like I needed that. I think funerals are more for the people who are still alive than they are for the people who have passed on. I mean, it's a mix of both, but I think they're far more a ritual to help us accept that someone is gone and to say goodbye. And so for Stacy, sometimes you can say, well, there's a funeral for someone or an opportunity to have an experience, like a life experience. For me, this was the more important life experience, was being at Stacy's funeral. And I'm very glad that I went. I'm very glad that I made that choice. I will now watch Hamilton on Disney Plus. Well, not now, but because today I'm still seeing Ghostbusters in a little bit. So anyway, that's my touching base after the funeral. I am heartbroken, but I will never forget Stacy. I will carry Stacy with me, and everything she gave me for the rest of my life. And I have no doubt she would have dropped everything to be at my funeral if the situation were reversed. She was just that kind of person. She was always there for me when I needed her to be, even when I didn't tell her I needed her to be. Like, back in the day when we were in each other's almost daily lives when we were teenagers. But yeah, even after that, years later, when we're adults and our career paths caused us to intersect a number of times, and even before that, I could call her up and say, let's get lunch, and she'd be there. Years could pass without saying a word to one another, and we'd always pick up because we were just we both were very busy. I think, like, during the time I was a youth program director, we were both workaholics pretty much, but it was always like no time had passed. So, yeah. Stacy will always be a part of my DNA as a human. But, yeah, so now I'm going to process a little bit and then in a little bit get ready to go see Ghostbusters. So I'll see you in a minute. So, we just saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. I liked it. What did you think?
It was cool.
Nick has a fun story about bird turds. There's one on my windshield. He says it's a sign of good luck. Right? Why are you hiding? Why are you asleep? I've literally been awake for more than 25 hours. So now, I'm going to try to drive us home. Well, him home, and then me home.
And then we both go die.
Well, then I'm going to take a wee nap. So...
A wee nap? You mean a weekend nap?
A weekend nap? The weekend's almost over. There's only one day left. Anyway, I'm done with this vlog, with this life, with this day. Not with this life. I'm just tired. So, how do I end the vlog? Oh, right, with your backwards. His brother was just here and unable to do the peace sign properly. It was strange. I don't know. Nick, in the video.
In credits.
We don't have credits, but I'll give you credit for that. Good night.